Welcome! Welcome to Wednesdays. I'm your friend, Amit Roy. Happy New Year! How was your Happy New Year? Mine was not so good. The first day was not so good for me. Anyway, I hope to have a nice year, 23. I don't think economically it will not be that good because China is collapsing so badly and possibly is heading towards its doomsday. CCP is heading. However, I want to tell you today about Japan and Japan's defense policies. There is a dramatic change in Japan's defense policy. Now, I will say uh, that is because of China and belligerent China. No, I don't want to talk only China today because I want to say something about Japan because if you know Japan, you can make a lot of money even now. But Japanese economy is not doing very well at this time. And this year, Japan is affected also by Chinese virus that is COVID-19, BF7, and a lot of people they're in disarray. Like entire world is in disarray and apprehensive. But see, I want to tell you something about Japan and changing Japanese strategy. Now, first, Japan without business cannot be perceived, or even you cannot think Japan without business. Now, how Japan is doing business in India and Southeast Asia and China. Now, in Japan is trying to take out their businesses. Important businesses like semiconductors and others from China. Strategic businesses. However, with India, business is developing. However, Japanese are not confident with India. The way they have strategized their business in ASEAN or even in China, they did that for that matter. They have not done similar things in India. They had different strategies in India. In India, they've invested in infrastructure and now they're doing in businesses. And a lot of JETRO, Japanese Business Organization, is inviting Indian companies to buy Japanese SMEs, small companies with semiconductor, etc., strategic sector. See, India, Japan, historically good friend. Historically, Japan has helped India in its independence movement. And Japan has been always a role model for Asia. India, Japan, both are democracies. And they will not have, any sort of adversarial kind of posturing towards each other. Always Japan tried to help India, inspire India. However, coming to Japanese business never felt comfortable in India for some reason. One, they competed against domestic businesses. Secondly, cultural issues were there. Thirdly, infrastructural issues were there. Japan, Indians, do not understand Japan. That's a big problem. Though culturally you are similar because I went to Japan. I promised my father I'll be very successful doing business with Japan, which I became. But in my pursuit of understanding Japan, I would say Japanese do not feel comfortable with northern Indians, but they feel nice with South Indians and they like Bengalis. Somehow they like Bengalis. I don't know why. And Bengalis also like Japanese very much. Though Bengalis have no mm, entrepreneurial kind of background, and they're not business minded, business like people. How I am a freak. Anyway, I'm a freak. But see, Bengalis and Japanese have a long history from Rabindranath, and Japan has influenced Bengal very, very much. Subhash Chandra Bose went to Japan, Raj Bihari Bose went to Japan. So India and Japan have a very good relation and tremendous potential for business. But here is a big thing. Japan is manufacturing things in Southeast Asia, taking out their businesses from China and focusing more on Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand. But there the strategy is different. There the manufacturing taking the producing to Japan or elsewhere. But in India, they are only manufacturing and selling within India. Not much they are taking back to Japan. And that's the thing we are waiting for. India waits for. I wait for. Now, Japan has many advantages because with India. Like, you see, China has brought Japan and India much more closer in terms of defense. And this constant belligerent threat to Senkaku Island and Taiwan, where Japanese are duty bound to protect Taiwan. Because you don't know, Americans are more telling you more that you should fight for yourself. Here come Musashi Miyamoto. Though Americans have promised that we'll go all out for Japan, but Miyamoto said, in war, you think of Lord Buddha, but trust only your soul. Japanese have started realizing that they must rebuild their defense system. They used to be defensive, now they are going for offensive capabilities. Because China and North Korea are pushing them back. And they are also threatened by Russians. You know, these gang leaders, they are together. You saw some sort of Russia, China, Japan, North Korea are in symbiotic relation. You cannot see them in isolation. Indians like to do that, and I am not going into India today in that sense. But Japanese are very, astute, kind of observers, very detailed. They know about this danger. So, Japanese are going for more ballistic missiles and other kind of attacking kind of kinetic force and aircrafts, etc. And Japan is going to enhance its defense budget to 2% of its GDP as LDP government plans. Now, Indo-Japan relation was mainly came out because Mr. Abe, Prime Minister, was very much interested in India. He was afraid of India as perceived. And Abe took the risk. Japanese are very risk-averse people. They don't take certain risks like Americans. We Americans take risks. We do a lot of things. And that's our culture. But Japanese do not take risks. That's their drawback. They are sort of timid people in that sense. And India, as I cannot talk about other Indians, I can tell which Indians I know. Bengalis. Bengalis are not so, they're more individualistic. Japanese are not individualistic, they are individualistic people. They live in a group. And so, if you cannot do much alone in Japan, so you have to develop your own group. I think that's a shortcoming. Secondly, Japan has kept their language as a barrier. Without knowing Japanese language, one cannot do much in Japan. I was lucky. I was Tom Cruise. So, I could do a lot of things which other Indians could not do. They become very jealous of me. Anyway, but see, the way Japan is spending defense budget and doing a lot of exercises with India, military exercises, because of convergence in defense architecture are meeting. And Quad is also playing a part, though Modi government has sabotaged Quad so far. But Modi government is little bit changing its stance. Now taking Japan more into their defense parameter and doing more exercises. And now listen, more interestingly, China has a belligerent attack on Indians in Tawang very recently after Doklam and Galwan. So that has triggered alarm bell. And Indians are trying, understanding that how Russians have cheated them with different kind of third-class junks, Russian aircraft, and now AS-400. It doesn't work. It's a substandard thing they've given to India. Sorry. And it is being told, look, I sent a thing that Taiwan has said that the defense system, a Chinese component, and that was to be repaired by China. Similarly, Japanese have Russians have Russian components, and you don't know what will happen in the event of war, because Russia will never abandon China. Their main defense backers. So North Korea, China, they're the cluster, Communist Brotherhood. Indians must understand that. Whatever Indians are doing, Russians will backstab them. Japanese understand that. Near Sakhalin, they have taken the island. Putin is showing a lot of dirty face against this Japanese thing. Provoke them in north of Japan, doing drills with China. And Chinese are scaring them, making drill near Shikoku Island. The Japanese are very worried. And China and Russians are using North Korea every day, threatening Japan. So this is a time Japan feels threatened and changing their defense program to more aggressive things. And I want to tell Indians one more thing. If you help Japan in the problem, they will remember it. Very grateful society, very, very honest society. I lived Japan in considerable time. I had not a single bad experience. Not one, not one. So nice people. I made a promise to Fujisan that I want to go back again and climb Fujisan to pay my respect before I die. I'm worrying when that thing will happen. Anyway, this is a thing, this is an opportunity. Indians also can buy some Japanese aircraft and manufacture aircraft together with Japan and join in space technology. So a lot of opportunities, a lot of places to make money in Japan. The Japanese are also inviting some workers from India. So this is my submission. But last thing I would say, you have to be efficient in Japan. You have to be honest in Japan. Unfortunately, many North Indian businessmen are not honest. And India has a lot of bakshish, bribe kind of things still going on. So unless these things are fixed, I doubt Japanese business will come again in a big way. But see, Japanese ambassador has said Bullet 10 will be a revolution that is going to be launched in India by 2027 or after that, when India becomes 5 trillion economy. Japan is also a 5 trillion economy. So imagine the stock prices. Japanese companies listed in India. What will happen? Japanese companies listed in India. I am giving one name. Today, Motherson Sumitomo Wiring. I went to Sumitomo headquarters once. Indians do not know what Sumitomo is. What impact it has. Yeah, this is my humble submission for you. And Happy New Year again. Please subscribe my channel. Please like me. Best wishes. Thank you very much.